I thought that my new Slumberland orthopaedic bed was going to be very comfortable when I bought it, because the man in the shop said to me, "On this bed, you'll sleep like a baby." I didn't realise this would mean I'd wake up crying every 5 minutes and wet the bed 4 times a night. Of course, the continuous nocturnal whinging and the incontinence didn't go down a treat with the boyfriend. He left me. But he did write me a very charming little note, and it said, if you either inherit a great deal of money, suddenly get very attractive, or carve yourself out a career as a stand-up comic with an excessively stupid name, I might come back to you. Good evening, I'm the Sea Monster. And I think it rather suits me, really, because I was not a particularly small child. I was the child who always got picked to play Bethlehem in the school nativity play. And even then, Mary and Joseph used to keep mistaking me for Greater Manchester. I suppose you could say, actually, that most of my childhood was somewhat marred by the fact that I was the size of a modest Barratt home. And I didn't grow up to be exactly anorexic, did I? In fact, I was only saying to my flatmate the other day, how on earth am I going to get a husband with a stomach the size of K2? That's a mountain. You see, we've both got a bit of a weight problem, and we've both been looking for a husband since we came of marriageable age, sometime back in the 14th century. My flatmate actually advised me to buy Cosmopolitan magazine, because, let's face it, all their articles are about how to get a husband, aren't they? Despite the fact that they may be rather thinly disguised as articles on more general topics for the ever so slightly feminist woman. For example, I read an article in Cosmo last week about how to speak knowledgeably on quantum mechanics theory whilst giving someone a blowjob and asking them to marry you all at the same time. I tried it, but the man on the cheese counter at Safeway said he didn't think it was terribly hygienic, quite similar to the Red Leicester. I thought I'd do the Cosmo quiz, though, because I like those quizzes, and I think that they really do tell you quite a lot about yourself, don't they? This particular quiz was called, Are You a Fat Old Bastard? And surprisingly enough, I got top marks. And I was advised to go on a diet before Weight Watchers got a contract out on me. I thought I'd do the Cambridge diet first, but unfortunately, I didn't have enough money to buy heroin. I also thought about having my jaw wired up, but it's a big problem, isn't it, trying to force pork pies through the wire mesh. So there was nothing else for it but exercise. I tried jogging. That measured 99 on the Richter scale. Demolished a small row of shops near my home. And we lost all of our next-door neighbours somewhere near the epicentre. So I decided to forget the practical side of it altogether and look a bit more deeply into the psychology of obesity. I read that book, Fat is a Feminist Issue, got a bit desperate halfway through, and ate it. Still, at least if you're rather on the large side, you can wear reinforced underwear, can't you? Whalebone corsets are out, I'm afraid, since Greenpeace came round and firebombed my knicker drawer. And what's all this dieting and exercise business geared towards anyway? Getting a husband who's slightly more attractive than the Elephant Man, and being able to lie on the beach without being hit over the head with a champagne bottle, and launched by Princess Margaret. So I thought that this year, if I was just going to have to go away on holiday, somewhere where you have to take your clothes off, lie down and get stoned by the local population, I might just as well stay at home and spend my time having pleasant day trips out in the car to places of local interest, like the cake shop. Good night, thanks for listening.